Good morning, everyone. Welcome to At America. Thank you. At America is the U.S. Embassy American Center, where our mission is to provide a space for young Indonesians to express, experience, and explore American culture through our diverse programs and facilities we have. Hi, everyone. I'm Farah Shiba. I'm one of the e-guides here in At America, and now you're watching Together We Thrive, Building Resilient Communities Against Bullying. Thank you. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, now let us hear an opening remark from a public diplomacy officer from the U.S. Embassy Jakarta. Everyone, please welcome Ibu Mary Trishak.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. It's wonderful to have you here today, and welcome to all of our viewers online as well. My name is Mary Trishak. I'm the Public Diplomacy Officer for Youth Engagement Programs at the U.S. Embassy, and I'm delighted to have this program here today. So first of all, greetings to Kevin and to Seb, and thank you so much for being the instigators of this wonderful program. It's the end of a 2-week journey for you here, at the end of a year-long journey, really, for our exchange program, and I am so grateful that you have taken the time to create such a wonderful community program here today. Also, thank you to Metta from KelasKevin for your support, as well as Wenny from Mafatih. Did I say that correctly? Okay, Mafatih Islamic School for being our speakers here today. I know it's your first time here at America as a speaker, so don't be worried. It's a really nice environment to talk to all of your friends in. Thank you to our moderator, Irvandias from Relasi, Diri, and all of the KelasKevin partners and amazing audience with us here today. So the U.S. Department of State is committed to strengthening educational partnerships between the United States and Indonesia through youth exchange programs like the Community Engagement Exchange Program, or CEE. CEE is a year-long program. It's for between 21 and 27 years old to learn about community development, peace building, open and participatory government, sustainability, gender issues, and youth engagement in the United States through a 3-month practicum at a US-based organization. After the program, the US hosts get the opportunity to come to the CEE Fellows' home country to support community project implementation. And so in this case, Seb gets to travel here to Indonesia, her first time here in Indonesia, so you can ask her all about sambal and macet later, I think, as well as community engagement, for a wonderful 2-way exchange program. During this 2-week program, Kevin and Seb have done training on bullying prevention and mental health for more than 300 youth at 12 different organizations and schools. Bullying and mental health issues are a huge challenge for many young people, both in Indonesia and in the United States. And so we're really lucky to have 2 dedicated practitioners be able to talk about and learn from one another about the best ways to deal with bullying and mental health, both in Indonesia and in the United States. So today, we're going to hear from all of our great speakers about their understanding of bullying and mental health strategies to create a more inclusive and safe school environment. As we're celebrating our 75th year of diplomatic relations between the United States and Indonesia, this is just one of the many programs that we have for youth to learn from the United States, to learn more about Indonesia through these 2-way reciprocal exchanges. So for everyone in the audience here today and everyone joining us online, I hope you will consider applying for the Community Engagement Program, as well as our other programs like the Young Southeast Asia Leaders Program, YSEALI, or any of the many programs that we have supporting youth and reciprocal exchanges here in Indonesia and around the globe. So thank you very much. Enjoy the discussion today, and that's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ibu Mary Trishak, as Public Diplomacy Officer from U.S. Embassy Jakarta, for the remarks given. And now there will be a short introduction from our partner, which is KelasKevin. Now, are you ready to hear that? Yes. Now, everyone, please welcome the project coordinator from KelasKevin, Kak Kevin Dennis Tito Siregar.
Thank you so much. I'll speak in Indonesia, I think. Oke, selamat pagi teman-teman semua. pagi. Thank you so much. Oke, pertama-tama terima kasih banyak atas kehadiran teman-teman di acara kita pagi ini, di acara KelasKevin School and Organizations Visit, secara spesifik Diet Amerika. Dan untuk ada di sini diskusi pagi-pagi di hari Sabtu, it's such an amazing opportunity just to engage dengan teman-teman. Dan pertama-tama aku ingin mengucapkan terima kasih banyak kepada tim At Amerika, dari tim US Embassy Jakarta, dan secara khusus kepada tim volunteer yang udah mau hadir. Shout out to you guys. Kegiatan ini nggak bisa berjalan tanpa kalian gitu. Dan KelasKevin sendiri platform yang kita dirikan setahun yang lalu dengan partner, dengan beberapa tim yang tujuannya untuk engage dengan anak-anak muda di Indonesia dan secara spesifik untuk bahas gimana sih representasi mereka di global platform gitu. Dan setelah program yang kita lakukan Community Engagement Exchange di Amerika, sekarang adalah expansive programnya bernama KelasKevin School and Organizations Visit. Kita udah visit ke banyak organisasi, jadi aku akan coba sebut satu persatu. Ada Life Project for Youth Jakarta, ada Sekolah Cita Buana, ada Safehouse, ada International Humanity Foundations Jakarta, ada Sahabat Anak Kota Tua Jakarta, Mafatih Islamic School Kalibata, ada Yayasan Pita Kuning, ada BEM FEB Universitas Pajajaran, ada Kejar Mimpi Jakarta, dan ada Universitas Negeri Semarang. Dan tidak lupa mengucapkan terima kasih kepada organizations, boot partner yang udah hadir di hari ini. Ada 3 organisasi if you guys see outside, dan ada Relasi Diri, Yayasan Bulir Padi Foundations, dan juga ada Life Project for Youth Jakarta. Jadi teman-teman, selain kita akan bahas topik tentang bullying yang benar penting dan ngambil perspektif dari mental health yang akan dibawa expert-expert kita nanti, dan juga ngambil perspektif bagaimana anak muda dan dari perspektif dari sekolahnya juga, kita juga bakal engage dan networking dengan teman-teman yang ada di sini. Hopefully apapun yang kalian pelajarin hari ini dan apapun yang kalian dapat hari ini bisa membantu ke depannya, karena isu ini benar-benar penting. Setiap sekolah yang kita datangi, seperti yang Ibu Mary sebutkan sebelumnya, hampir 300 lebih orang yang sudah hadir dan semua memiliki isu yang sama tentang perundungan dan kesehatan mental. Dan terakhir, akhir kata saya ingin mengucapkan terima kasih dan enjoy for the rest of the event. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kak Kevin, for the warm introduction about KelasKevin. Now, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let us start our discussion for today. But before that, I would like to invite our moderator to start our talk this morning. He's an expert educator from Relasi Diri. And everyone, please give a great welcome to Kak Irvandias Sanjaya.
Okay. Thank you, Farah, for guiding me. And also, hello, good morning, everyone. From America to all the audience registered today online and also those who are coming to this place, to the community session called We Thrive, Building Resilient Communities Against Bullying, a special event co-initiated amongst leading entities such as Relasi Diri, Yayasan Bulir Padi Foundation, Life Project for Youth Jakarta, Sekolah Cita Buana, Saifan, International Humanity Foundation, Sahabat Anak Kota Tua Jakarta, Mafatih Islamic School Kalibata, Yayasan Pita Kuning, BEM FEB Universitas Pajajaran, Kejar Mimpi Jakarta, and Universitas Negeri Semarang. And also I would like to say thank you for our beloved partner who accommodate this lovely place at America. Can I get a round of applause for as mentioned partners who have been working tirelessly to make it even today? Okay, so I want to inform to you guys that 3 of our event partner, Relasi Diri, Yayasan Bulir Padi Foundation, and Life Project for Youth Jakarta are opening their booths outside the room where you can jump and visit their organization and ask questions and concern if there's any. And also finger crossed to our spectators who joined today from both online and also the live attendants who are ready to get inspired and recharged. And before we jump into the session, let me introduce myself again. My name is Irvandias Sanjaya. Just call me Dias. I'm an YSL Academic Fellowship Program in 2018 and also the expert educator from Relasi Diri who will be the event moderator for today's session. And this session is very inspiring and also heartbreaking at the same point because it also the topic that I did research on my undergraduate thesis back when I in college. And I believe to bridging the objective to be more clear and fully construction oriented, I present to you 3 superlative ladies who undoubtedly advance at their levels of horizon understanding to present each perspective and experience. The first speaker, please welcome Miss Metta Kariyani, the representative from KelasKevin, to the stage. Second one, we are moving to Bu Wenny Novita Hasibuan, the school counselor of Mafatih Islamic School, Kalibata, to the stage as well. Last but not least, the third speaker, please welcome Fairbanks, the volunteer and outreach coordinator of Safehouse and Progressive Alliance for Nonviolence, aka SPAN, to the stage as well. So we have everyone's here to present the idea. So without further ado, I'll be passing the mic and floor to Miss Metta as the session opener. Please.
Check. Okay. Thank you so much, Mas Irvandias. Okay. So, hello. Good morning, everyone. Okay, I would like to say thank you first to everyone that comes here at America and who are joining online for today's sessions. So my name is Metta Kariyani Dewi, but you can call me Metta, and I'm part of the KelasKevin here. And the first discussion that we are going to talk or discuss in this morning will be about bullying, to get to know what bullying is and why it become a critical topics that we are going to deliver, and we want to share with you guys because it's been happening for a long time, and we are concerned about it because it's happening at school, especially to our children, maybe to our little brother and sisters, and we want to address it very well. As we know that bullying currently not only happening offline or experience it by ourselves in person, but it also happening online, or we can call it now as cyber bullying, and it really affect the well-being of everyone that get impacted or get bullied at their school or work or everywhere. So to start the presentation, the title will be Stopping the Hate. So we would like to examining and also giving like the awareness on how to prevent the bullying itself. So as we know, the definition of bullying is something that happened intentionally. So the people that do bullies, they do it with intentions, and it also happened repeatedly, and it impacted the not only the physical condition of the victims, but also affecting their mental health. So the type of bullying itself can be physical, verbally, or psychologically. Okay. And then there are two main actor when bullying happen. Actually, there is one, the aggressor or the bullies, someone that is having the intention to do harm to other people, whether it's coming from physical harmful behavior, or verbally, or psychologically. And they do it usually coming from the intention, or the reason why they are doing this is because they are feeling like they have more power, and the victim is the weakest person that they are thinking they can just taking their powers and then want to do harmful thing to them. And bullying can be, again, not only physical, but also emotionally, and can occur online through social media platform. And also there are the other side of the stories, which is the victim. The victim is someone that got bullied by the aggressors or the bullies, someone who is targeted by harmful repeated action, and it can be anyone. So it's not only the kids at school, it can be us, it can be our friends. So whoever can be the victim of bullying actions. And they are get bullies because usually they are the one that perceive different or vulnerable, become vulnerable group, and they are cannot do anything when the aggressor doing that kind of things. So as I've mentioned before, there are four types of bullying. The first one is physical. absolutely hitting someone or pushing someone or breaking someone else's um, items or goods or whatever that belongs to the victims, it can be categorized as physical bullying. So it's not only just when someone like hitting you. If someone breaks your things, it's also the type of physical bullying. And the second one is verbal bullying, is when someone intentionally saying bad words, saying things, saying meaningful things, like they become means to you, name calling, or they threatening you in person, or it can be online as well, or they are insulting you, but it happened repeatedly. It is also categorized as the verbal bullying. And the third one is social bullying. It is when a group of people um, going together to do harmful action to someone, or it can be the other way around. It can be like one person doing meaning things and do harmful things and ask other people to not like you without any specific reason. So you got yourself in a situation where you are excluded from the group and you cannot mingle with your friends because of these kind of things. And the last one is digital or cyberbullying, which is currently happening all around the world, all in all social media platforms, whether it's Instagram, X, Facebook, or even messaging apps like WhatsApp or even emails sometimes. And we cannot really control it, and it's actually giving the biggest impact right now to people, because whoever that is on social media in the other side of the world can be also part of this kind of bullying. Maybe it happens a lot to, let's say, public figure, or mostly that is the most light example that we can see, or it can be happen to us or to someone that we know, and someone who we don't know just randomly attack us on social media or anything, and that what makes it very, very, very dangerous, because it can happen 24/7. Okay, so and it's giving like a very widespread effect. And we would like to make sure that we are agree on the same page. We know how to recognize bullying behavior. So the sign of being bullied is usually we are as a victim, or the victim would be feeling like reluctant to attend schools or work in case of we are as an adult. Unexplained injuries, and the most noticeable thing is changes in mood. We have no motivations to do the things that we usually do, we usually like. We become demotivated because the environment is not good for us. And the sign someone is a bully, usually they are displaying aggression through someone else. And they are usually lack of empathy, and also manipulation, doing manipulation to others. And the last one, I would like to introduce another role, which is called bystander. This is usually someone that is also in the room when bullying happen, but they don't do anything. They often take a silent actions because they don't know what to do. But the bystander actually play a crucial role in stopping these actions, because they can be like the part or the person that can intervene the situation to become worse. Based on the UNESCO data, 80% of the bullying unfortunately happen at the educational institution. That's why KelasKevin come here and then sharing and raising the awareness about it, because we want to make sure that educational institutions, schools, universities, and course place can be a safe place for our children, little sister and brother, to have their education and grow together. And 20% of it is occurred in the religious educational institution, which is also a sad things that we have to face. And hopefully after this, we can make it a better place for everyone to grow. So I would like to talk a little bit more on the cyberbullying, a little bit, because I know that is an interesting topic, and it's a technology-based harassment. So technology sometimes can give us not only the good benefits of it, but also something like slightly negative in terms of everyone can do everything there without like being physical and confronted directly by the victims or the bystanders maybe. So it happened again through digital media platforms or like social media messaging apps, email, and gaming platforms sometimes. People that do online gaming sometimes also get bullied because they're not like doing good when they are playing games, and their friends might feel disappointed, and then they become the object of the bullying itself. And it involves the use again of electronic communications to harass, threaten, humiliate someone, often in a repetitive manner, and we don't want that to happen. So hopefully after this, if you see someone that doing this, you can help to remind them not to do it again. Unfortunately, again, the data shows that 45% of young people aged 14 to 24, they are reported experiencing cyberbullying in Indonesia, which is sadly. And we have to know and understand the mind of the bully. They usually, the reason why they doing it because they feel insecure about themselves. They try to fit in. So they try to show that they have power and control over others. The second one is they kind of learned the behavior from someone, or they kind of have another trauma, but they not taking it well and then doing it as they thought they can gain something as what the other do to them. The second one is power dynamics. The third one, I'm sorry. And then the last one is sometimes social pressures because they want to make sure that everyone sees them, or again, they try to be the center of attentions in wherever they are now. And this is a cycle of bullying. It's bullying start with actions, and then followers of the bullies usually support them and participate, and disengage onlookers to do not intervene. So what is anti-bullying? KelasKevin is actually focused on anti-bullying. We want to make sure that everybody has a personal responsibility to stop it, and we would like to build an empathy building within our community to stop it. And we want to make sure that it is coming an inclusion space for everyone who got involved. And what the victims can do actually, if you are the victim of a bully, at schools, you can do by report to your school authorities, counselors, or having involved the police if the case is severe, and seek help from professional group or adult that you are trust. And how you can help and be part of the solutions if you are the bystanders now. The first one is to educate yourself and others, and then giving zero tolerance to bullying, and also the last one is together creating a safe space and supportive support the victims. And again, we have to see that where do you fit in the cycle. Hopefully we're not the bullies. Hopefully we are going to be the one that can change the situations. Bullying might seem impossible to eradicate, but each one of us can make a difference in creating a safer, more inclusive environment for everyone. So let's reflect on our behavior. Are we like this whole time become a bully, but we don't realize it? What will you do after this? And then what would you done differently if you are ever in that kind of situations? Okay, I hope that everything that I share with you guys can be beneficial, and that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the marvelous sharing by Miss Metta. Can we get a round of applause once again for Miss Metta? Okay, we shall continue to the second speaker. Without further ado, Bu Wenny, the momentum is yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirrabbilalamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asrofil anbiya'il wal mursalin. Wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Good morning everyone. My name is Wenny. I'm a counselor of Mafatih Islamic School and nice to meet you. Yes. Oke, today mungkin hari ini saya lebih nyaman mempresentasikan dengan bahasa. Hari ini saya mempunyai topik tentang School Strategies, Policies, and Program to Prevent Bullying. Ya, seperti tadi menyambung dari presentasi dari Mbak Metta ya, bahwa di sekolah itu 80% bullying terjadi di lingkungan sekolah. Ya, mungkin lanjut. Ya, ini adalah data yang saya dapatkan dari tempo.co. KPAI terima 141 aduan kekerasan anak sepanjang awal 2024, 35% terjadi di sekolah. Ya, kemudian di data yang kedua, KPAI ungkap sekitar 3.800 kasus perundungan sepanjang 2023, hampir separuh terjadi di sekolah. Ya, jadi kalau dari data KPAI ini hampir 50% perundungan terjadi di sekolah. Tapi tadi dari data Mbak Metta 80% ya. Ya. Jadi ternyata lebih banyak lagi, dan ini biasanya seperti fenomena gunung es. Yang terlaporkan itu lebih sedikit daripada yang tidak terlaporkan. Ya, ini adalah fact about the world of education today. Ya. Fakta dunia pendidikan kita hari ini menurut teman-teman semua baik-baik saja atau tidak baik-baik saja? Baik-baik saja atau tidak? Ya, ini faktanya ya. Ini dan masih banyak lagi yang berhasil saya kumpulkan. Misalnya siswa SD di Banyuwangi tewas gantung diri karena kerap dibullying dan menangis saat pulang ke rumah. Ya. Kemudian ada juga gadis di Wakatobi dikeroyok temannya hingga 6 hari lalu meninggal. Ada juga siswa SMA di Pasuruan dibully hingga masuk rumah sakit jiwa. Nah, ada yang sampai patah tulang, ada yang sampai matanya buta gara-gara dicolok sama temennya. Gitu. Nah, ini sudah sangat darurat. Ya. Kemudian karena tadi ada fakta bahwa bullying itu hampir 80% terjadi di lingkungan sekolah. So, what action can schools do to prevent and stop bullying? Ya, jadi apa yang bisa sekolah lakukan? Ya, yang pertama itu preventif. Ya, untuk mencegahnya, teachers and staff must set a good example for students. Ya, jadi kita punya local wisdom ya teman-teman. Yang guru itu singkatan dari digugu dan ditiru. Digugu artinya apa sih? Ya, gugu itu artinya didengarkan ya, didengarkan dan ditiru. Nah, jadi sangat penting bahwa peran guru itu tidak hanya mentransfer ilmu, tapi harus menjadi tauladan untuk murid-muridnya. Ya, kalau gurunya tidak memberikan teladan, bahkan gurunya sendiri jadi pelaku bullying, bagaimana murid-muridnya? Pasti murid-muridnya akan mencontoh. Kemudian, implement anti-bullying topics in the school curriculum. Ya, jadi sekolah perlu mengimplementasikan kurikulum anti-bullying di sekolah. Seperti yang sudah dilakukan di Mafatih, kita mengimplementasikan kurikulum anti-bullying ini di hampir semua pelajaran. Bahkan kita buat buku sendiri untuk pelajaran pendidikan agama Islam, tafsir anak, dan juga kewarganegaraan. Nah, ini sangat penting. Kenapa? Karena semua anak itu dia berbuat dari pemikirannya, dan pemikiran itu akan mempengaruhi pemahaman, pemahaman akan membentuk tingkah laku. Jadi untuk mengubah tingkah laku anak-anak, maka hal yang pertama kali harus kita lakukan adalah mengubah pemikirannya. Kita edukasi dengan pemahaman yang benar untuk karakter, adab, akhlak, dan itu harus diimplementasikan di kurikulum sekolah. Karena faktanya saat ini anak-anak menghabiskan waktunya itu sebagian besar di sekolah. Senin sampai Jumat 8 jam, kali 5 hari itu ada 40 jam. Nah, untuk pelajaran karakternya, adab, akhlak, agama itu paling hanya ada 2 jam. Dari 40 jam hanya 2 jam, itu porsinya sangat sedikit, sehingga sangat penting sekolah memperbanyak materi-materi tentang karakter dan adab di sekolah. Ya, kemudian ya kita juga bisa mencegah dengan memberikan pemahaman ya, pendidikan kepada anak-anak untuk menghargai perbedaan kebudayaan dan karakter. Nah, jadi anak-anak perlu kita edukasi bahwa ada wilayah di luar kendali kita yang itu adalah takdir dari Sang Pencipta. Kita tidak diminta, ya kita tidak bisa memilih untuk lahir dari warga negara Indonesia misalnya. Lahir dengan kulit hitam, kulit putih, agamanya apa, itu semua adalah ketetapan dari Sang Pencipta. Nah, jadi ketika anak memahami ini, jadi dia tidak akan punya keinginan untuk membuli temannya, misalnya yang berkulit hitam, yang agamanya berbeda dengan dia, dan misalnya warga negaranya beda, itu pasti tidak akan punya niatan untuk membuli, karena sudah paham bahwa itu adalah anugerah dari Sang Pencipta. Perbedaan itu adalah anugerah dan sebuah kepastian. Dan itu adalah wilayah yang tidak bisa kita pilih. Kemudian membentuk organisasi siswa untuk amar ma'ruf nahi mungkar. Ya, untuk mengajak kebaikan dan mencegah keburukan. Ya, jadi ini penting ya. Kontrol sosial itu sangat penting. Jadi sekolah harus punya organisasi siswa yang tugasnya itu seperti polisi sekolah. Jadi tugasnya mengkontrol adik-adik kelas atau kakak kelas ketika jam istirahat ataupun pulang sekolah, mereka akan menasehati dan mencatatnya, lalu dilaporkan ke guru. Nah, ini sudah dipraktekkan di sekolah kami, alhamdulillah ini sangat berpengaruh ya, sangat berpengaruh karena kakak-kakak kelas yang menjadi Laskar Mafatih itu mereka menjalankan tugasnya dengan menasehati adik-adik kelasnya. Nah, kemudian aktif berkomunikasi antara murid, orang tua, dan guru. Kenapa ini penting? Karena ketika ada anak-anak yang misalnya menunjukkan indikasi mulai membuli, itu kita langsung komunikasikan ke orang tua. Karena kita sama-sama tahu ya bahwa anak-anak yang membuli ini itu biasanya ya lahir dari didikan orang tua ya. Kebanyakan seperti itu. Jadi misalnya hubungan dengan orang tuanya tidak baik atau bondingnya tidak ada sehingga anaknya merasa insecure, merasa nggak aman. Akhirnya mereka lampiaskan di sekolah sehingga sekolah perlu untuk menjalin komunikasi yang aktif antara murid dan orang tua. Nah, kemudian kita punya Help Center for Violence in Schools. Jadi ketika ada anak-anak yang menemukan dugaan bullying atau apapun, dia tahu harus mengadu kemana. Nah, kemudian kita harus punya anti-bullying agreement. Jadi kita punya kesepakatan atau standar kedisiplinan, dan di sini kita sangat tidak mentoleransi pembulian, sehingga kita susun di standar kedisiplinan. Jadi nanti di sini ada standar kedisiplinannya yang ringan, berat, sedang, dan itu semua ada konsekuensinya. Kenapa kita perlu konsekuensi? Konsekuensi itu fungsinya adalah untuk membuat jera pelaku dan juga mencegah yang lain melakukan seperti itu. Dan untuk asas keadilan bagi korban. Jadi sangat diperlukan kesepakatan ini. Nah, kemudian kita juga bekerja sama dengan komunitas anti-bullying ya. Seperti kemarin kita mengundang KelasKevin untuk sharing tentang anti-bullying di Mafatih dengan Miss Sep juga. Ya. Jadi ini adalah cara-cara yang bisa dilakukan sekolah untuk mencegah pembulian. Nah, lalu bagaimana jika sudah dilakukan semua langkah-langkah itu tetap terjadi pembulian? Nah, yang pertama ya untuk kuratif, kita harus support ya, kita harus support korban ya dengan memberikan counseling service. Jadi kita berikan layanan konseling kepada korban, kita dengarkan, jangan sampai tidak didengarkan ya. Kemudian ya juga kita berikan solusi ya. Kemudian kemudian kita harus melakukan ini ya konsekuensi dengan disiplin. Jadi harus adil. Ketika tadi kita sudah punya kebijakan-kebijakan, maka kita harus terapkan dengan seadil-adilnya. Ya walaupun tadi pelaku bullying misalnya anak ketua yayasan sekolah atau anak donatur yang paling sering memberikan suntikan dana untuk sekolah, maka sekolah itu harus adil. Walaupun pelakunya orang berpengaruh, sekolah tidak boleh memihak kepada para pelaku bullying gitu. Karena baru-baru ini juga saya ada baca berita tersangka bullying itu dilindungin sama sekolah karena dia adalah salah satu anak petinggi-petinggi gitu, orang yang berpengaruh. Nah, sehingga sekolah tidak boleh seperti itu. Harus adil dalam menerapkan konsekuensi untuk para pelaku bullying.
Bu Metta, sorry, Miss Wenny, mohon maaf karena waktunya udah habis, kita lanjut dulu nanti pas Wenny nggak apa ya,
Iya.
Wenny ya. Oke, tepuk tangan dulu buat Wenny
Terima
kira-kira
kasih.
teman-teman ya. Makasih banyak, tapi karena the time is limited, so I'll just pass it to the last person in charge. So Sep, the time is yours to present the presentation.
Testing? Okay. Hi everybody, thank you so much for being here today. I'm so honored to be here in Jakarta. It's actually going to be my last day today in Indonesia. I know. So this is really our finale to the program that we've been carrying out for the past 2 weeks, and I'm so thankful for it. This has been a wonderful opportunity for me. I'm talking about mental health today, starting with a genuine conversation. My name is Seb Fairbanks, and right now I'm the Volunteer and Outreach Coordinator at Safehouse Progressive Alliance for Nonviolence, so also known as SPAN. SPAN is a domestic violence organization that is based in Colorado in the USA, if you know where that is. This month, October, is actually Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And October 10th is also Mental Health Awareness Month. And so we have sort of those two pieces coming together this month. And I want to share before we get started, we just had a case in our local community where somebody was killed by their partner. And so this was just a few weeks ago. It's hitting really close to home right now. So I just want to have a moment for the violence that's happening in our hometown. In parallel with the work that we're doing against for anti-violence, right? Okay. So as humans who interact with other people, we're always managing this dynamic. How do we hurt others? How have others hurt us? How have we harmed ourselves? And how have we observed others being hurt, right? We're always in this dynamic with people. And same for the inverse. How have we healed other people? How have other people healed us? How have we healed ourselves? And how have we observed other people heal themselves? When we talk about bullying and mental health, prejudice, racism, sexism, all of these different pieces, right? Sometimes we want to make it a very simple problem. We want to make it binary. We want to say you are a good person or you're a bad person. We want to say you are the victim or you're the perpetrator, right? We have this very binary way of thinking because we want it to be simple. But going back to these complexities of how we impact each other, we're actually so much more complex than that. We hurt people, we heal people, we are hurt by people, we are healed by people, right? It's not just you are good or bad, right? We do have unhealthy behaviors, we have healthy behaviors, and how those behaviors impact other people, right? That's the dynamic I'm talking about here in terms of the complexity of our relationships with other people. So for the past couple weeks, we have, as you heard, reached about 300 youth with our bullying and mental health curriculum. And I wanted to share some of the questions that came up from those presentations, okay? And so just to let you, just to give you a bigger picture of where these questions are coming from, folks, it's between 12 years old and 19 years old. What should we do if there's a bully in our class who's hurting everyone? I've tried to talk to them about it, but they don't care, and they have turned all of my friends against me. What should I do if I've reached out to all of my friends about how I feel, but I still don't want to continue living? What should I do if my insecurities prevent me from becoming the person that I want to be? Do you believe that we have to forgive everybody that hurt us? What should I do if I know a child who has been sexually assaulted? This one really hits hard for me. The kids at my school found out that I have cancer, and they were making fun of me that I will have a shorter life than everyone else. Is it true that I'm going to have a short life? What should I do? These are some really difficult questions. And these aren't just random, right? They come from personal experience. And so sometimes when we hear these really complex and deep questions, we want to respond with, it's going to get better. You're going to grow out of it. Everything's going to be okay. That person's going to change. But these cliches that we've created around talking about these in-depth traumas and complexities and adversities, right? When we respond to them with cliches, we're totally dismissing it, right? We're saying, your experience right now is not valid. Moving on. So, and I'm guilty of playing into that rhetoric. That rhetoric is insensitive, though, and what it does is it takes the discomfort out of that conversation so that we can keep going. But when we have empathy for these conversations, when we sit in the discomfort, when we are just acting as a witness to those experiences, I see you. I see that you're having a hard time. This is really difficult right now, right? That drives that connection. That drives community. I want to share this framework with you all. Have you all seen this before? Okay. So when we talk about social issues and social change, this is the framework that we use to talk about all of the different levels that are playing out in our lives. Okay, we've got internalized. So I'll use mental health as an example, okay? So the stigmas around mental health at the internalized level, right? That might sound like, I don't deserve care. I don't deserve happiness. I don't deserve joy, okay? So we have this internal dialogue, but where did that internal dialogue come from? We go to the it should say interpersonal, not intrapersonal, my bad. The interpersonal level is our relationship with other people, right? This is bullying, right? Bullying is at the interpersonal level. What's our relationship to harm and healing with other people? Institutional. So this is what you were talking about in terms of what can we do at the institutional level, schools, legal, medical, all these organizations, right? What are the organizations, the group of people who are able to address mental health or any other issue in our society, right? This is a framework that applies to everything. Ideological. What's the narrative that we have that is completely infiltrating our society, right? So mental health, right? it's weak to have mental health issues, right? If you ask for help, there's something wrong with you, right? So at the ideological level, this is where we're talking about racism, sexism, all of those isms, all of those prejudices, right? At the ideological level, it bleeds down into the institutional, trickles down into the interpersonal, and it all comes back to us. So this is what I was talking about in terms of bidding for connection, right? When somebody shares something really difficult with us, sometimes we want to go into pity. Oh, you poor thing. But pity, right, is what we do to disconnect because we are uncomfortable with that conversation. Empathy is what we do to bring us a little closer, a little closer. Pity has this binary thinking as well. Empathy is we see you as an entire person. You are not just your mental health issues, right? You are not just your anxiety. You are not just your depression, right? You are actually so much more than that. And when we define youth, when we define people with these stories, it takes out the complexity of them. It dehumanizes them. That's what I mean when I talk about pity versus empathy, right? Pity is you are your cancer. Pity is you are your depression. Empathy is I see that you're experiencing bullying. I see that you're experiencing abuse. I see that you're experiencing violence. I'm a witness to your life. That's what brings us closer together. And I'm going to end with this quote here by Chimamanda. She has a wonderful TED Talk called The Danger of a Single Story, and this is a quote from there. The consequence of the single story is that it robs people of dignity. It makes our recognition of our equal humanity difficult, and it emphasizes that we are different rather than how we are similar. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Seth, for the outspoken introduction about bullying from your experience. So once again, guys, can we give a round of applause of 3 speakers that we have been listening to of their experience, personalized journey, and also for the eye-opening and thought-provoking topics that time with us. And now we are jumping into the 2 ways of communicative session, where I'll give a time for all of you who wants to ask questions concerned to 3 of the speakers. And if you want to have a question, just raise your hand so we can pass a mic and which one that you want to ask your questions. Anyone will start? Okay. Kevin. Okay, so maybe we can start from the yeah. Oh yeah, okay. Can you please introduce yourself and then whose question you wanted to ask with?
Okay, thank you so much for the presentations. I'm also learning in here. So I have like 3 questions, 1 questions for each. So the first thing is like, sometimes like when I see my friends, they don't even know that they do bullying, right? So for Metta, how do you know that sometimes like we feel bad, we just realize that we do bullying kan? Pada akhirnya, oh kita ngelakuin bullying karena baru paham ternyata tentang bullying. So what's the solutions to make you distance yourself by feeling guilty, and how do you move on with that? That's my questions for Metta. And the second question is for Bu Wenny. So in the schools itself, kayak anak-anak, especially for the elementary schools ya, mereka punya cara mereka sendiri. Mereka kadang cara bertemannya masih, they just trying to find kayak their own selves untuk di sekitar mereka gitu. So bagaimana role dari sekolah untuk introduce good things kepada anak-anak ini, but still make them tetap buat mereka merasa seperti diri mereka sendiri. Karena sometimes kayak sekolah-sekolah di Indonesia kadang kita buat kayak kamu harus lakukan ini adalah hal yang baik. Tapi at the same time kayak mereka juga nggak tahu mana hal baik atau hal buruk gitu. Karena mereka juga diajarin dari rumah gitu. So bagaimana caranya supaya mereka tahu apa yang mereka buat itu baik tanpa menghilangkan apa yang mereka percayain dari hal-hal yang mereka dapat di rumah ataupun di lingkungan internal mereka gitu. And for Seb, my questions is, you said about complexity, right? It's so complex. And we talked about this one before, and it's such insightful things coming from you. But when it comes to the victims itself, they have a complex issues. And sometimes when people just telling their stories to their friends thinks that this is not my problems. Okay, why do you want to give me all these stories? Like even all the complexity things, even us as a friends, as a listeners, doesn't have that capacity to even listen to their stories. Sometimes that we go to the pity sites, right? I'm sorry, I don't know what to do, blah blah blah, and that's it. So how you build the empathy feelings towards the victims, and how do you keep the conversations real in a way that sometimes we try to our best to find the solutions, but even like ourselves cannot bring the solutions itself. So how you bring the empathy at the same time that maybe you try your best to be a solutive, like to give the solutions. So is that a good way to saying that you are part of us, or do you have any solutions on that part? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kevin, for the advanced question to all of the three speakers today. So we can start with Metta.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Kevin, for the questions. These very thoughtful questions, actually. So how or what should we do if we are now realizing that we become or we already become a bully? The first thing that I want to say is it's very good that now we are aware that we are doing a wrong thing, and acknowledging it is actually the starting point for us to make sure that, okay, we know and understand our situation now. So what would I do? Well, I believe you want to be a good part of society, meaning that we know that now we have become a bully, then we need to stop. And then the next step would be probably like approaching the victims or the one that we bullied and talk to them and asking for like maybe forgiveness. It will be a little bit hard to do if sometimes we become like gangsy. Yeah. But I think when you already realizing that you are or you were been doing not the right thing this whole time to a specific person or to a specific group, then you come out and then saying that you would like to change and asking for their help to help you. How can I get better? But um, before that, it's a good thing that you realize it, and you have to make sure and have the new belief that, okay, I'm becoming a better version of myself, and I will seek help from others, and I'm open to learn on how to do things better. So acknowledging and openness to the people around you would be very beneficial and help you to like shifting from bully to become someone that is supporting the anti-bully things. But it will take times, but that is actually the thing that we can do. Yeah, I hope that's answered your questions.
Thank you. Okay, we're passing Bu Wenny.
Ya, jadi untuk menanamkan nilai-nilai yang baik untuk anak-anak, yang pertama kali itu kita harus menyamakan persepsi dulu ke anak-anak. Mana yang boleh, mana yang tidak. Nah, jadi kalau kaitannya dengan bullying, misalnya ada anak yang ingin memanggil temannya dengan sebutan yang bukan namanya. Nah, itu kan harus tahu dulu ya, kalau temannya keberatan, itu berarti berarti bullying. Tapi kalau misalnya tidak keberatan, mereka sama-sama setuju gitu, itu ya tidak masalah. Jadi itu dikasih batasan, kalau temannya tidak marah dan itu masih bukan sesuatu yang buruk gitu ya, masih bisa ditoleransi. Misalnya kalau di Mafatih itu anak-anak misalnya manggil temannya itu dengan nama yang lain atau nama samaran. Nama aslinya misalnya Faza, panggilnya Budi gitu untuk nama samaran, dan dia tidak keberatan. Mereka sama-sama punya panggilan kesayangan gitu, panggilan sayang gitu. Nah, jadi ketika tidak ada yang tersinggung atau marah, ya itu it's okay, nggak apa-apa. Nah, tapi kalau misalnya temannya tidak suka, maka sekolah itu mengajarkan anak-anak tidak boleh menyebut panggilan yang tidak disukai temannya. Misalnya, hey botak, hey gendut gitu. Nah, itu tidak diperbolehkan. Walaupun mungkin di rumahnya terbiasa manggil anaknya seperti itu. Botak sini dong gitu, mungkin orang tuanya biasa gitu ya. Nah, jadi kita ajarkan kalau di dalam itu atau agama kita sendiri itu ada batasan-batasan biar sepersepsi, ada yang boleh, ada yang tidak boleh, ada yang masih batas toleransi atau boleh beda pendapat, ada yang tidak gitu.
Oke, thank you Bu Wenny. Kalau dulu ini Bu manggilnya nama orang tua Bu. Iya, saya dipanggilnya nama bapak saya. Jadi orang lebih paham nama bapak dibanding nama saya sendiri gitu ya dulu zaman pas di SD, SMP, SMA. Tapi thank you so much Bu Wenny. And third one, Sep, please do your
Yeah,
answer.
thank you so much, Kevin. Is it okay if I add to the question that you asked Metta about stopping bullying if you realize you're the bully? I agree with Metta that the step one of recognizing your behavior is really important and is also really difficult. I also think in terms of becoming a better person, you want to find people who have the capacity to support you in becoming a better person. I think often the work or the effort lands on the victims of the bully rather than the bully finding like peers or friends or mentors who are outside of the situation to support them in becoming a better person. So not always landing that responsibility onto the people who were harmed, because it can actually also cause more harm. The other thing is if you're realizing you're a bully, and the thing is, everybody has hurt someone in their life. Everyone has hurt someone's feelings, at least, in their life. And so when you recognize that unhealthy or bullying behavior, right, I think it's really helpful to think, where did that come from? Where did I learn that? Because if you can kind of go back in your mind and see where the root of that came from, then it makes it a lot easier to unravel, oh, this behavior came from this need, right? I'm bullying because I want to feel belonging, right? And I learned that bullying was the way to feel belonging because I learned it from blank. And so if you can find the need that is associated with the behavior and be able to paradigm shift that, I think that's also really helpful in really unraveling why you have those behaviors, because oftentimes we don't know. To your question about capacity for supporting people with mental health and shifting that pity to empathy, my first suggestion is when I need to talk to my friends about mental health, I always ask for consent. I'm like, hey, do you have the capacity right now to talk to me? I have some heavy things. I think it's going to take a good 2 hours to talk about. So this is what it's about. And sometimes if it's like a triggering thing, I'll be like, and this is these are the trigger warnings for this. And that's why it's really important to build a community around you that can support you in different ways, so that if one person's not available and they don't have capacity, which is okay, everybody has their own lives, everybody's dealing with their own stuff, then you have other resources that you can reach out to, right? We don't put all of the weight on one person. That's actually unhealthy, right? We distribute that healing to our community. And then in terms of, I think I heard you say, something about like solving their issues. Not our job. Not our job. We don't solve people's issues, right? If we always ask, like, what do you need right now? Do you need someone who's listening? Do you need someone who's giving you space? Do you need someone who's giving you solutions? Do you need someone who's giving you an opinion, right? Giving option for what kind of friend or person that person wants you to be, what kind of role you want me to play. I always ask what kind of support they want. I don't assume that they want solutions. Most of the time, they just want to be heard. Most of the time, I want to be heard. And it actually feels very frustrating when I get solutions. I'm like, I don't want to talk about that. I just want to be seen. And so just that consent in terms of, do you have the capacity to talk about this, right? And then if you're on the other side, setting boundaries around, I really appreciate you sharing. I'm feeling really overwhelmed right now, so I'm not able to talk about this at the moment, but I can talk about it like tomorrow. Like giving some options there too. So setting boundaries, asking for consent, and asking for what kind of support they want. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Fev, for the far and wide comprehensive explanation. And also Kevin for asking the question. So we are moving to the second orang yang mau nanya. Okay, so we have a guy with a batik. Sorry, the middle one. Yang tengah-tengah, ya. Oke, silakan.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. My name is Atsir. You can call me Atsir. I'm one of the volunteers for this event. For your information, when I register myself to be the volunteer, I find that the topic is very interesting because the word bullying is actually haunts me for years. I don't know about that. But yeah, let me just jump into the question. As just Metta just presented earlier, that bullying, 80% of bullying came from educational institutions, and the other 20% came from religious educational institution. So, fun fact, I came from the other 20%. Yeah, so I graduated 7 years from Islamic boarding school in East Java. I'm not gonna mention the name. So, back in the days, so I entered the school since junior high school. I'm gonna sit down because my legs is moving. I don't know. So back in the days when I'm still in the school, so there's a really general policy that this school is really anti-violence. We don't hit each other. We don't use violence. We don't use hard way to educate. But turns out it's going to the different way because I got hit a lot. Yeah. But in some way, it changed me. Yeah. So there's this opinion in my school. You can't call yourself as a graduate from the school if you never felt the suffering, if you never felt the violence of the 5th grade. Because that's the year when you experience organizational experience, when you chosen to be the manager of little kids. I mean, when they got naughty, I mean, you got to hit them. I mean, you got to educate them in some ways. I experienced that year, and I'm sorry for my language.
Can you just move into the questions because we have a limit of time?
Yeah.
Okay.
So in this experience, I felt that in some way violence could change me. I'm not saying that violence could change people in a positive way, but in this experience, it did. It did change me. I don't agree with that, but do you got something to say about that? Thank you.
Thank you so much for the question. So, Metta, mau jawab?
Okay, maybe I will give a bit of a response to that. First of all, Atsir, I'm so sorry for what happened to you back at school. I know it's been a really tough time for you, but like you said, you are becoming a better version of yourself now, and I'm so glad for that. And yeah, I think based on what I've been sharing earlier today, maybe that is a kind of stigma or things that fueling the bullies to do their action based on lesson learned, as you've mentioned that it's been happening and going on for years. And it's also a part of the things that Sab mentions become a ideological phenomenon where people altogether still supporting this kind of behavior and keep going on, which we have to obviously break it, meaning that the involvement from the school committee should be able or exist there to make sure that no one or no student getting that kind of experience, because it will be such a heartbreaking story and moment to tell, which shouldn't be experienced by students when they are pursuing their educations anywhere, whether it's informal or informal schools or informal educational institutions or religious institutions. I think that's all from me. I actually kind of a bit freezing and don't know and how to respond to that, but I hope that that kind of action is not happening again right now. And as you are already have the new information about bullying, and it's not a good thing to do, and I hope you can share it with your colleagues, with your fellows, students or alumni there, and making sure that we can be on board in the same ships, and making sure that we can create a better and safe space for other people to live, to study, and to their day-to-day job. Thank
We
you.
hope so.
That's
Thank
it.
you, Metta.
Thank you, Mbak Metta. Bu Wenny or Sep want to jump in, giving comments? No?
Thank you so much for sharing. Yesterday, we did a webinar where somebody had a question that I think is similar. It's like, what's the difference between building resilience and just experiencing harm? Like, I think there needs to be that aspect of healing in there. And I mean, we are all built of all of these stories, right? So it sounds like one of the stories that built who you are today is that experience in 5th grade, right? And our experiences of harm and violence and joy and all of these different experiences, they're going to push us in a direction, wherever that direction is. And I don't think it's necessary for us to experience violence in order to grow up. I don't think so. But I think that there is a narrative, right? That's just life, right? That's the real world, right? Toughen up, right? Grow some thick skin, right? There is a narrative that you have to suffer in order to be like a full adult. And I think we really need to step away from that narrative. I'm not going to invalidate, like, I think it's completely valid that those experiences make you who you are, right? And I've had a lot of, not the same, but I've also had a lot of trauma in my life. That's why I'm in this work. That's why I care so much. It completely made me who I am. And I'm so thankful for who I am today. But I would never wish that trauma on anybody else. So thank you so much for sharing. That's what I have to say.
Thank you so much, Sep, for the calming answer and also comments. Can we give a round of applause for the answer given by the speaker? So we have the lady at the left corner.
Halo, salam kenal. My name is Ilyana from Bulir Padi Foundation. We're very happy to be a part of this discussion today. My question is, I think relates to what you had mentioned, Seb, and maybe Ibu yang lain bisa menjawab juga. How do you differentiate between ordinary conflict and bullying? You know, we throw this term out, bullying. This whole discussion is about bullying. But conflict resolution is something that we need to learn also as individuals, because when these kids grow up and enter the workforce or whatever they decide to do, they need to learn that skill to be able to navigate life. So if you could please give us your insight on that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, who has never had conflict before? Like nobody, or you're very special. And so the three main differences between conflict and bullying is intention, how often it happens, and the power dynamics. And for the purposes of this question, I'm really going to speak to the power dynamics here. conflict is it's equal power dynamics, right? Bullying or abuse or violence, there is a huge intention to have power over someone else, make them fear, make them scared, make them feel small, make them lose their sense of self, right? When the action of the bullying or abuse is targeting their quality of life, is targeting like how they feel about themselves, versus conflict is we have different opinions, right? And so, but it's a much more balanced conversation, right? Conflict is a part of human life. That's natural, that's normal, 100%. But this power over is kind of what we're talking about here in terms of the difference. Like what is the intention? I think abuse and bullying, the main idea is you're taking agency away from the person. You're taking choice away from the person. There is this exchange of taking where conflict is more mutual. So that's what I would say in terms of what the difference is. And I totally agree that we need to talk about conflict management, because like that's going to happen in relationships, with your work environment, your school environment, every aspect of your life, conflict management, absolutely.
Okay, thank you Sep for the concern. And Bu Metta mau nambahin? Bu Wenny? Udah cukup dari dari Metta?
Okay, thank you for the question. But yeah, I agree with what Seb already said. It's depends on the situations and more of in the how the power of one person affecting others, because usually the aggressor have like bigger powers to press other people to believe what they are told or what they want them to agree with. And conflict is more, we are in a balanced situations and it happened only one time, while bullying, it happened like so many times. So it's happened repeatedly. And to accommodate this kind of situations, I believe if we are talking about educational setting or in organization or at workplace, the thing or the preventive actions that has been implemented at Mafatih school, like having the anti-bullying agreement or policies, will be helpful tools to make sure that our environment is having the same level of agreement in what kind of action that we need to take if bullying happens, and if there is a conflict that happened between one person and the other person, and having someone that is having the expertise to analyze the situations, or having the expertise in, let's say, conflict resolution itself could be really helpful. Because sometimes when conflict happen and no one there to become, let's say, penengah, that help mitigate or bridging what is really happening there, it will keep going on. So having someone else that is coming from the neutral positions will be very helpful. I think that's what works. Thank you.
Thank you, Metta. Can we get a round of applause for the speaker answer? So we have one more questions, if any, just short and concise question. So, and yeah, the lady with the hijab. Okay, just short and concise questions, please.
Oke, perkenalkan nama saya Lani dari Pita Kuning. Saya mau tanya khususnya kepada Bu Wenny, karena sudah dipaparkan bahwa ada banyak sekali bullying dan itu di sekolah. Jadi saya ingin tanya lebih ke penasaran karena juga belum banyak belajar tentang isu ini. Apakah secara kurikulum pendidikan, secara general kementerian, isu ini menjadi isu yang disorot juga sehingga ada policy atau mungkin ada peraturan yang akhirnya mengatur ke seluruh sekolah, karena apa yang sudah dilakukan oleh sekolah Bu Wenny sangat amat luar biasa dan harapannya bisa dilakukan di setiap institusi pendidikan begitu. Karena kami sebagai pendamping dari adik-adik pejuang kanker yang juga bersekolah kerap kali mengalami isu-isu ini gitu, sehingga ingin bertanya bagaimana sih sebetulnya proses untuk menavigasi mengatasi bullying ini dari pihak yang lebih di atas atau mungkin kayak policy-nya seperti itu. Lalu kalau boleh tanya lagi, gimana akhirnya kami secara individu ataupun organisasi akhirnya bisa mensupport untuk anti bullying ini. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih pertanyaannya. Mungkin Bu Wenny bisa secara singkat Bu menjawabnya Bu.
Ya, terima kasih untuk pertanyaannya. Jadi memang untuk mengatasi bullying ini perlu kerjasama seluruh pihak ya Mbak ya. Dari negara, keluarga, masyarakat, dan juga sekolah. Nah, jadi memang ya saya baru ini ya kemarin sharing dengan suami bahwa ya kemarin nonton ini Abah Ihsan ya. Ya, Abah Ihsan itu salah satu ahli parenting di Indonesia. Nah, beliau mengatakan anak-anak yang suka membuli ini lahir dari orang tua yang tidak punya bonding kepada anaknya, terutama di usia 2 tahun pertama. Jadi, ketika di usia 2 tahun pertama, seorang orang tua itu misalnya kerja, tidak menyusui anaknya, tidak ada bonding kepada anaknya sehingga anaknya itu merasa insecure dan dia mencari insecure itu dengan mengata-ngatain atau membuli temannya di luar. Jadi merasa semua yang dia temuin itu adalah ancaman. Nah, jadi memang itu paling penting untuk mencegah bullying adalah dari keluarga. Nah, untuk mensupport keluarga bagaimana kondisinya saat ini? Seorang ibu karena masalah ekonomi harus meninggalkan anaknya, jadinya tidak bisa bonding kepada anaknya di usia 2 tahun pertamanya, di usia emasnya, itu perlu peran negara. Negara mestinya memberikan ekonomi yang cukup memenuhi kebutuhan keluarga sehingga ibu-ibu yang memiliki anak balita di usia emasnya itu bisa fokus untuk mendidik anaknya, mengajarkan adab gitu. Kemudian dan kita lihat sekarang di negara-negara maju itu sudah mulai menerapkannya dengan memberikan cuti hamil dan melahirkan yang lama. Terus ayahnya juga diberikan cuti tanpa ada potongan gaji. Nah, jadi ini ya sangat berkaitan dengan kebijakan negara, pendidikan di keluarga, masyarakat sebagai kontrol sosial, dan juga sekolah yang menerapkan kurikulum yang berbasis akhlak, berbasis karakter. Dan itu harus dipraktekkan, tidak bisa hanya teori gitu. Kalau hanya sekedar teori tidak dipraktekkan, itu ya seperti buku berjalan aja gitu. Nah, mungkin itu sih. Jadi perlu kerjasama semua aspek. Tidak bisa sekolah saja. Kalau sekolah sudah diajarkan di rumah begitu lagi, di lingkungan masyarakat begitu lagi, bahkan di lingkup negara juga seperti itu, ya akhirnya ya itu cuma utopis ya, sia-sia untuk menangani bullying ini. Mungkin itu saja.
Oke, terima kasih. Tepuk tangan dong jawabannya, keren. Membawa unsur negara dan paham kalau bullying itu multi-layer complexity problems ya, dan butuh stakeholders to get involved. So we know like we have 5 stakeholders, academic, business, government, community, and media. So from Yayasan Pita Kuning, Bulir Padi, dan sekolah, dan semuanya pasti bermain peran penting terkait dengan apa yang akhirnya menjadi topik kita. And the last one, since we have a limit of time, so thank you so much for coming to the session. Can we get a applause for everyone who joined today and for the online also? So I think for the last statement, so we know that bullying is complex from SEP. We know everything need to be very personalized, and from Bu Wenny, we learn about schools plays a very vital role. Schools also can provide some kind of guidelines that can be implemented to every schools in Indonesia. Hopefully nggak cuma di Mafatih aja Ibu ya, tapi di semua sekolah terbaik negeri, biar akhirnya bisa mendapatkan the exact same intervention. Also from KelasKevin, we learned that there are several types of bullying from online and offline. And I think it's sums of everything. And the last one, we call Farah as the MC to move to another session. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much for the very empowering session to Kak Metta, Sep, Kak Wenny, and also Mas Dias for leading the discussion. And now, moving on to the next agenda, before we close our event for today, I would like to call the representative from KelasKevin to come up to the stage and give the certificate to our speakers and moderator as well. Okay, so the first certificate for Kak Irvandias as our moderator for today. And the second certificate will be given to Kak Metta as our speaker for today. Let's take a picture together. Looking great. Thank you so much, Kak Metta. Next, for the third certificate goes to Ibu Wenny. All good. And last, the fourth certificate goes to Fairbanks as our speakers for today. Yes, once again, can we give a big round of applause for our speakers and moderators for our session today? We hope everyone can work together hand in hand to create a more resilient community against bullying. If you think that our event is really interesting for you, kindly visit our social media. We're on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter or X at AT America. Also consider to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well at AT America. Thank you so much for tuning in with us this morning. I'm Farah Shiba with the entire Ad America team saying goodbye and see you at the next Ad America event. Bye everyone. Oke, sekarang kita akan ada sesi foto bersama. Jadi to all the speakers and moderators, please